With the presidential elections coming up, I wanted to take time out to take a look at President Obama and his presidency. And first I want to talk about the 2008 elections. Now, I've been exercising my right to vote since I was 18 years old, and believe me, I'm no spring chicken. And I have to say that I feel that election, 2008 presidential election, was one of the most exciting elections in history. At least it was one of the most in my lifetime. I mean, and I think it'll definitely go down in history, especially based on the fact that he is the first person of color to be elected President of the United States. And everything just seemed to come together for him. The timing was right. A lot of people in the country were ready for change. He had the perfect campaign slogan, change. And so it just all came together and it seemed to be perfect. Now, I have to admit, he may have underestimated how long it would take for change or all the change to happen. And he did recently admit that he was pretty naive about how partisan politics can be in Washington. I mean, well, let's face it, any changes to government basically has to go through the Congress and the Senate, you know, and so what it boils down to is the people that are sitting in our Congress and our Senate. I'd like to look at some of the changes that have taken place during President Obama's presidency. Now, as a member of the GLBT community, I'm a trans woman, these three things stand out to me. Number one, no more don't ask, don't tell. Number two, he's the first president to appoint a transsexual to a position at the White House. Number three, he's come out and openly supported gay marriage. Now, these things tell me that we definitely have an equal opportunity president. Let's look at some other things. The capture and the execution of Osama bin Laden under his watch. The health care bill. Now, I realize that that's very controversial and there are some things that need to be tweaked with it. But think about the intention of that. He, as president, wants to ensure that every single American has access to health care. Those intentions speak volumes to me. You know, it's all how we look at things, and society tends to kind of look at things from the negative aspect. Like, you know, the glass half empty as opposed to half full. And the media does that a lot. I'll give you an example. This past June, 80,000 jobs were added. Okay, none were taken away. Now, and what you'll hear a lot of times the media say is only 80,000. You know, that sort of thing. Just 80,000. Hey, 80,000 is 80,000. And I know we can all pretty much admit that the economy is a lot better shape than it was before he took presidency 4 years ago. Also, allowing people that were brought here as children and were illegal aliens to stay in this country. Now think about it. If you were little, young child, and your parents took you somewhere and you grow up in this place identifying this place as home with connections to it, and then all of a sudden are asked to leave it, that would be just absolutely devastating. Devastating. Also, advocating for unemployment extensions when the Congress and Senate were dragging their feet. I mean, with the economy the way it was and the amount of people that were unemployed, can you imagine if there weren't any extensions that were done? It would have been crazy. Desperate people do desperate things. And that was something that definitely had to be done. And anyway, the statistics show that people get their unemployment checks and they put it right back in the economy. It's very rare that someone's able to save their unemployment check. They usually get it and they spend it on the needs of living, like rent and other bills and food, etc., etc. So it goes right back into the economy. This thing about be all you can be, You know, the Republicans have this motto, let's move away from government. And I do agree with it to a certain extent. But there are just people in the society that no matter how hard they work, the odds are against them. And they just can't seem to achieve and get very far. You know, oh, if you get out there and you work hard, you can achieve anything. Well, in many cases that is true, but not always, not always. There are people in our country that for whatever reason, they need help. They need assistance. Now, it's the right thing to do. It's the humanitarian thing to do. Come on. All right, I don't want to pull the race card, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there, people. There are people that have a problem with our president being a man of color. And because of that, they find fault with just about anything he does. And really, when you think about it, the presidency is a thankless job. I mean, it really is, because you can't please everyone. Okay, so maybe we haven't gotten as far as we would have liked to. Maybe we haven't seen as much change as we would have liked to, but I think that we all can agree that President Barack Obama is a president of great integrity. He's a president that truly cares for every single type of American, not just particular groups, all Americans. That's why when you go to the polls in November, vote for President Barack Obama. Let's give him an opportunity to finish what he started. Let's give him a chance to complete the mission.